Welcome, everyone, to Planet of NY Sports. Here we talk Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, and a little bit of the Knicks and Nets. So, the news today is that Daniel Jones, he is changing agencies, and now he is looking for a contract close to $45 million. Rodrick, give me your instant reaction on that.
Well, my instant reaction was I screenshotted the post I saw and I said to you and started dying of laughter because $45 million is outrageous. That's like Aaron Rodgers money. And last time I checked, Daniel Jones has no MVPs, even though Rodgers has no MVPs if you ask me. But yeah.
Okay.
Zero.
All right, Rodrick, that's your opinion on Aaron Rodgers. We know there's a tad bit of bias. There's just
a little bit.
Just a tad bit of bias. But, it's not like you see the whole flag in the back of his room.
Oh, no, you don't see
like,
that. No.
Please. It's not like he's a Vikings fan. But, anyways, this was very puzzling to me when I saw this. Rodrick sent it to me. I looked at my phone and I was just like, okay, I'm not going to answer this because, maybe it's fake. I thought it was fake for a second. I looked it up and turns out it is true. So we can read the tweet right here. So he is changing his agency and he's joining Athletes First. So Athletes First, those guys they represent guys like Aaron Rodgers, guys like, Deshaun Watson, like guys that have got the bag.
That's not good. That's not good.
That definitely worries me now, like that he may actually get this deal because that agency.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant like that's like those people. Oh, yeah. That's not good.
Yeah, I know. Now, real quick here, let's look at the quarterback salaries for basically, So let's turn to. I'm not going to go to Russell Wilson because he's won a Super Bowl and had good years in the past. But let's look at Kyler Murray. Okay, he's making 46 a year. Yeesh. Deshaun Watson, oh boy, fully guaranteed, 46 mil per year. Like what? The QB market now is, it's quarterbacks are a premium, and you're not going to win without a quarterback. And when you look at the Giants now, I don't know what we're going to do. If you can place one of these, these tags on them, and now you're not going to be able to franchise tag Saquon, which is what you wanted to do because, Saquon was asking for a lot. I don't think the Giants were going to give it to him. And, hey, the franchise tag is only at 12 for running backs. Okay, fine. We can go ahead and franchise tag Barkley. All right, cool. And then you give Daniel Jones the extension. Now that he wants $45 million, I don't know if the Giants are going to do that. We can look at some of the tags here that, that they can possibly put on them. But Rodrick, what do you think this means for the Giants, chances of retaining Saquon?
Well, I think that this almost certainly means that he's gone. I mean, earlier the report came out, which was talking about how he wanted upwards of $12 million. The Giants were like, we're not going to do that. So, I mean, in terms of value, who would you rather have? I think I'd rather have Saquon, and I think the Giants probably don't feel the same way. But if they do go after Daniel Jones, that probably means via Saquon, unfortunately.
Yeah, and if you're the Giants, you can't really move on from Daniel Jones. That's the thing here. You can't because, sure, if you're like, all right, Daniel Jones, see ya, bye. You're in a position where you might as well rebuild again because, you just had some stability and stuff. And now you're going to go ahead and you're going to draft another guy or something like Anthony Richardson. You're going to be rebuilding again and you're going to be back to the bottom of the division, losing to Washington, which I don't want to lose to Washington at all. I don't want to lose to those guys and Ron Rivera, with Carson Wentz. No, I don't want to go back.
Eric Bieniemy.
Exactly. Please.
Yeah.
And Taylor Heineke. I don't want to lose to those guys. I
have a stat I like to bring up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this past weekend, I was just taking a glance at Daniel Jones' stats from this previous season for no reason in particular. Turns out he had 15 passing touchdowns. If I'm no mathematician, but 45 divided by 50 happens to be 3. Is he worth paying $3 million per passing touchdown? Look. I'm no mathematician. I'm no football expert. But I'm pretty sure $3 million worth of a passing touchdown is not good. But that's just that I have to bring up.
Yeah, that's not good, but I think if he had better receivers, he could have got to 20 something. I think. But
Again, that's not worth
yeah,
$45
I
million.
know, but yeah, I know, but like that's not worth $45 million. So, but me personally, I can't really fault the guy because when you look at QBs nowadays and what QBs are getting paid, you know, the QBs are getting the bag, and there's going to probably be a desperate team that is going to give him that money if it's not the Giants. Who knows? But that's why
Las Vegas.
yeah, exactly. A team like Vegas, because, especially with uncertainty around Aaron Rodgers going ahead and sitting in a cave for whatever, amount of time. That guy's a freaking weirdo. But, I I just think, there's quarterbacks are a premium. Quarterbacks, they come at a premium. If you don't have the quarterback, you're not winning in this league. You're not. And Daniel Jones, I mean, I would say last year, Rodrick's probably going to look at me and, I think Daniel Jones was a top 15 quarterback last year.
Okay, that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
I think
That's reasonable.
I think it's somewhere in like the 12 through 15. No, I would even say 12 through 14 range. Actually, thinking about it now, 12 through 14 range. You get, but like just looking at it, it's kind of like.
Well, the thing is, if you look at his stats, you could make the argument that he is a top 10 quarterback, right?
Yeah,
and
you could.
You know what else that says? Quarterbacks are getting paid a lot of money, right? We saw the contracts. That also means quarterback talent is at an all-time low. If the season that Daniel Jones had last year, 15 pass touchdowns, and now he wants $45 million based off the market, that's what he can get. That shows you how low the talent level at the quarterback position is. And look around the league, Russell. Even look at the divisions. There is at least, I want to say, 2 bad quarterbacks in every division this year, if not more. So you can't fault Daniel Jones, but you can fault I don't want to say the agents, but you can definitely fault some of the teams over here getting quarterback hungry and quarterback desperate, inflating these salaries and whatnot.
Yeah, and when you look at how like desperate teams have been for like certain quarterbacks, and like I said, let's look at like Kyler Murray's extension right now. I don't like that contract.
Horrible.
It's horrible.
Albatross.
Let's look at Deshaun Watson. Bill Cosby Watson. That guy. Oh, fully guaranteed too. So when you look at guys like that, you can't really blame Daniel Jones for saying, "Oh, I want this amount of money," because he played like a borderline top 10 quarterback last year. I know the passing touchdowns was very low, but you still look at the interceptions and stuff too. And if you take into account if he had a slightly better weapons, but still, this is really tough now if you're the Giants, because you were planning to improve the team through like free agency. You're supposed to have all this money, and now you're unsure what you're going to do with Daniel Jones now, whether or not you're going to put a tag on him, because I'd be surprised if the Giants do give him a $45 million multi-year deal. I'd be shocked.
I will laugh. I'll be the first person to laugh. Let me tell you.
Like, I mean, if you mean to tell me that the Giants, if gosh, this sucks, because now I don't know if Saquon's coming back, because like if you can't tag Saquon, I don't really see him staying here. I don't see the Giants really giving a running back, that amount of money when you can, running backs nowadays are kind of replaceable, though you can say that, but I can't really see Saquon anywhere else. Rodrick, we were talking about it a little before the video, but do you just want to expand more on like the topic of Saquon?
I'll expand on it a little bit here. I mean, we talked about how we really can't see him in the jersey besides the Giants. I mean, he's Josh's second overall. You took him that high, and I feel like you kind of have to extend him. I know he's had some injury history, but you would kind of have to give that guy more than 4 years, if he's second overall pick. So whether that's on the previous regime, I don't know, but you're kind of stuck here. You're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because those are the 2 guys that kind of carried you to the success you had last year. If either of them leave, you're going to take a significant hit, and then also talent, and then especially in that locker room. And I feel like I said earlier, who weighs more in that scenario? It's definitely Saquon. So if I was Giants, I'd keep him, but I think that Brian Dable is going to want to try to work with Daniel Jones and try to get him up. So, or not get him up. Pause. Damn it. He's going to try to help him out and bring him along. So, yeah.
Yeah, and when you look at Saquon, you know, if he was tagged, he would have got 1 year for like 10 million. Like that is cheap. You know, I would take that. But this is really frustrating now because Daniel Jones, you know, well, I can't fault the guy though. That's the thing, because when you look at some of the quarterbacks that are getting paid right now, you know, you kind of like, oh wow, like you know, like let's look at it again here. You know, I can go even lower. I'm not gonna go to, you know, Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna go like a little below that. But when you look at Carson Wentz too, making 32 a year, is Daniel Jones like, you know, better than Carson Wentz? Yeah, obviously. There's a lot of quarterbacks better than Carson Wentz. I think we can agree on that. You know, Matt Ryan making 30 mil per year, you know, Tannehill, 29. Like, so when you look at that, it's already like, okay, you know, I'm better than these dudes. Okay, but 45, I didn't think he would go all the way to 45. Now, the people that were thinking it was going to be like 30 a year, or no, it was not. It was never going to be 30 a year. It wasn't. It was probably, I would say, at least going to be, you know, maybe 34 per year, like somewhere around that range, 35, 36. But it was not. I didn't think he would go all the way to 45. I could see it going to like 40 for like 3 years. I always saw that as a possibility if he was gonna, you know, gonna say, oh, okay, I'll take, you know, more money, less years. But now 45 million, and I don't know how many years he wants. That hasn't came out yet. But Rodrick, so do you have any closing thoughts here on Daniel Jones's you know, decision here?
I think that Brian Dable is gonna want to keep him around. That's gonna influence the Giants' final decision.
Yeah, exactly. I still think Daniel Jones will be in a Giants uniform next year. Saquon, I'm unsure right now. I'm gonna give it about a 35% chance Saquon comes back now. You know, but like things can change though. Who knows? Things can change. Maybe Daniel Jones does get a multi-year, you know, a multi-year deal. Who knows? I doubt that now. If this is true that he wants, you know, it's not exactly 45, but apparently it's close. And you know, I don't know if the Giants are going to do that. So if you're going to place one of those tags on him, it's looking like Saquon Barkley will not be a Giant next year. Sorry, Giant fans. It's going to be very painful. You know, it's going to be a very painful day if it does happen. Now, if you can all do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you all in the next video.